Kate is in recovery, but really struggling with bulimia and looking for answers in this first of a two-part series. Learn how to overcome triggers and distractions during our expert analysis.
Nothing I did was working. The more I tried, the more out of control my eating became. Then, I did something I hadn't tried before. I became a savvy detective and figured things out. If I can do it, so can you. Find out more at solveyouroutofcontroleating.com.
Welcome to Solve Your Out of Control Eating. I'm Victoria Todd, a child and adult psychoanalyst and an eating disorder specialist.
And I'm Michelle Holtzberger, a clinical social worker. But in the virtual world, we are savvy detectives
who solve real-life eating mysteries like today's.
And we're going to teach you how to become a savvy detective too. So here we go. Step into our virtual office for this brief therapy session. Then stick around afterwards. You'll hear our detective work and practical advice. Now here's Kate.
I'm so sorry. I know that I texted you 100 times yesterday, but I was just so upset. But everything's good now. I just got upset because my boyfriend didn't text me back for a really long time, and I forgot he was helping his brother move. But we don't have to talk about that now because everything's fine.
I don't know, Kate. This happens quite a lot. Maybe it would help to talk about it, help us to figure things out.
Okay, I guess. I was just so sad. I texted him and he didn't respond, so I texted him again and I waited and waited and nothing. So I called him and then he didn't answer. I tried to listen to music, but I couldn't. So I went on TikTok, but that didn't help. Tried again and I must have texted him like 20 times. He said it was more close to 100, but I just think he's exaggerating.
My gosh, sounds like you were so worried.
Well, I mean, he could have dropped over dead for all I know, and I waited and waited and finally went downstairs and ran on the treadmill for like 10 minutes, and then I checked again, still nothing. I felt like I was losing my mind.
What thoughts are going through your mind at this point, Kate?
Well, but he doesn't love me anymore, or he probably found someone new, someone better, someone thinner. He's gonna dump me. I probably won't ever hear from him again.
Sounds familiar.
I know. It happens all the time.
Very hurtful thoughts.
Yes.
Then what happened? This is so important, Kate, and I want to make sure I understand. You texted your boyfriend and you were waiting for him to respond, but he didn't.
Right.
You waited and waited, even ran on the treadmill for a while, and still nothing. You felt like you couldn't stand it anymore. Your thoughts were unbearable.
They were unbearable. Well, so I got in my car and drove to the gas station where I bought a whole bunch of junk food, like chips, soda, candy, cupcakes, chocolate milk. I started eating the minute I got in the car and I ate all the way home, crumbs flying all over my clean car, but I didn't care. I was in the zone.
Tell me about the zone.
It's like being in some weird trance. In the zone, you don't care about anything but the food you're shoveling into your mouth. You're eating so fast, you don't even really care how it tastes. You're just eating nonstop.
Wonder what's going through your mind now.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So you're not thinking about your boyfriend anymore?
Nope.
No more worries that he's found someone new?
No. I'm just shoveling food in my mouth and getting a world record or something.
And how are you feeling then?
I feel nothing. No, that's not entirely true. I feel busy, numb, strangely settled, but only for a few minutes. And then I get really, really anxious. What have I done? Oh my gosh, how many calories did I consume? I'm going to just look like a blimp. That's when I force myself to throw up.
To undo the binge.
Yes. I had to get it all out of me, so I drank all this liquid to make it easier. all to make sure I got it all out. I took laxatives to clear out anything else I just missed. And that's when I texted you. The usual. I hate myself. I'm such a pathetic loser. I'll never get over this. I'm a bulimic mess. Please help me. I don't want to die. You know you can. Throwing up can cause such heart problems. But if I didn't throw up, I could wake up in the morning and weigh like 500 pounds.
Sounds so exhausting.
It is. The price I pay.
The price you pay for what, Kate?
Well, I don't know.
What an interesting story. And now comes the detective work. This was really hard to process. I'm eager to hear what you think.
Well, Kate tells us so much in this important therapy session. First of all, her boyfriend is a big disappointment.
That's right. There doesn't seem to be much stability in their relationship. But is he the only disappointment, I wonder, or are there other unstable relationships in Kate's life?
Those are very good questions. I was thinking the same thing. Why is the waiting so unbearable for Kate? And here my mind goes back to my child analytic training at Hannah Perkins. Because all young children have a very hard time waiting. It's just unbearable for them. They need their mother to help them. And how that process goes is the mother says to them, I know it's hard to wait, Susie, but I'm right here with you and I'm going to help you. We have to wait till daddy comes home. And he'll be home when the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 6. So let's figure out what we can do in the meantime. Let's get 3 of your favorite books and we'll read them together. I'll just bet you can tell me the story of the goat and the rug. I mean, that's an example of what I'm talking about. But I suspect that Kate didn't have that kind of mom that knew what to do, or maybe she was working, who knows? But one way or another, Kate never acquired those skills. Plus, she doesn't have a clue how long she has to wait, which makes it even worse.
Makes sense. I noticed how quickly Kate ran to food for comfort, and I wondered, isn't there someone she can count on to call or to talk to?
I know. The fact that she goes straight to food makes me think she doesn't have people who are available to comfort her. But you can always count on food, it's always available. And the whole binging incident was so interesting. It totally distracted her from her painful feelings. She became hyper focused on food and nothing else mattered.
And then she suddenly realized what she'd done, how many calories did I consume, and panic set in, and she purged.
And that provided relief from the caloric panic. But then she was stuck with all these self-deprecating thoughts.
Yeah, so what can our listeners do if they struggle with waiting and aren't in therapy?
They need to develop a protection plan. Be a smart scout. Always be prepared. If you're faced with a long wait, do what the helpful mother that I mentioned earlier did. Plan it. Have 2 or 3 different activities available, a good book to read, a podcast to listen to, a Sudoku on your phone, pack some healthy snacks. Treat yourself like a kindly mother would. Maybe halfway through, get out and take a walk, stretch your legs, then knit, crochet. You know what you enjoy.
Well, those are great tips for a protection plan. And that's it for now, but there's more Kate to come next week in part 2. So be sure to give us a like and subscribe, and even hit the bell so you don't miss a single episode. And see you next week. Remember,
Keep searching for clues.